But, aggro, the Solar Scarabs are an early game specialist team. It's one of the best phases of the game for them, and they've got a draft that should be able to establish pressure pretty easily on her. One of the most aggressive long lane hunters in the game should be able to get pressure in the duo, and then Erlang Shen can absolutely blow a match out of the water.
Let's see what happens. Leviathans up against the Scarabs. Throw it down for the casters for game number 1.
Thanks so much, Aggro and Mifflin on the desk. I'm Hindu Man, and joining me today is going to be Gormizer as well as the
if you just shout onto your core, and I think that's going to give them a lot of opportunity.
Well, you saw the start. I was going to mention how the Scarabs started this game to try and relieve some of this pressure of this Chiron early game, but a blink and a pluck coming out from Rongyu has set up for inbound to definitely die here eventually. The question is, who does he give first blood to? It's going to go to Panitom. The assist goes the way as well of Yoko and
potential in them. But they had said it on the desk. I think you had mentioned it earlier while we were talking about it. This is the team to beat, and it's going to be very difficult to take down something like the Leviathans.
But a panic station's coming through there, and say from the side of Scarabs as the pluck does connect onto Zapman. Follow-up damage is there from Jocko too, and the dash through, and Zap doesn't have his leap available. Remember, even with the beads, he won't get away. And another kill now for Leviathans, who are taking it to the Scarabs in the duo lane. And all the while,
Sun Wukong, as well as inbound on the Xingqian, all of it is set up to me. That is going to be either channeled through Zapman, which unfortunately right now inbound gets plugged back in. Get out of here!
Snipes! Oh, he can't get out. He's only level 3, the poor lad. Back to Big Sugar again. And the Leviathans duel, and I will argue with a lot of people.
The gods in the game at a high level. In fact, some of them do it for fun on their stream, as right now it's looking like they're going for a gank.
And Leia's under pressure as well. Will get feather stepped and killed, but Panitom did get low, and inbound not available in time to get over here to stop. This was Scarabs getting aggressive there again at this blue buff. This time, though, Leviathan stood a bit taller. Julio combining with Panitom beautifully, and now, well, Solo Troll's forced to use the Somersault Cloud to get away back to the safety of his talents across the map of these wards. There's very good vision from Leviathans right now, just tracking wherever they can be. And even though they're trying to pick Morrigan in mid lane right now, she escapes, where Zapman, different story, can't escape the third needle coming out from Yokor, and this is getting away from the Scarabs quickly.
Just what a shot. Like that, look, it's not a shot the way he did. Pretty much max range there on the Zap is such a huge deal for them, and it's creating so much opportunity across the map.
Oh, and it really is, as you were saying. I mean, Panitom doesn't have to worry about duo lane when they're 2v2ing and doing well on their own. They don't need help.
And yet it's still having a little bit of struggles keeping up. I think this is going to be a big point of contention. If the items get too out of hand there, I mean, your core's already up 3-0-1. It'll continue going that way.
Block on Zapman, beads used, unfortunately, the worst time, and that says some Panitom to come back to me, Zap.
No.
I'll take you down for another kill. I was about to say, we saw Leia's fall a little bit behind in experience as well. He came to duo looking for a gank, but the ward coverage from Leviathans.
You get plucked, you can still go to your Sentinel, beads is still available.
Zap, go.
But no, this is not. This is going to be dirty if they get the pluck.
He had a feeling, blink, pluck, in towards the feather step, and there's Jokor, 3 members just take down Zap. That's a rank game for you. 100% I've seen that on his stream a few times for poor old Zap. But hey, annihilate the Hunter, go to the Gold Fury soon after. What can Scarabs do to get back in it? It's kind of crazy that we're 9 minutes in, and I'm already thinking, well, you know, they do have a Silagor. We're hoping for the late game, you know, but I don't even think we're going to get there.
Where they aren't necessarily comfortable for it. You're not comfortable either, but you're trying to make them as uncomfortable
they're killing
as
him
possible.
Again. They're on him again. They're looking for him again, and they're going to get him on the left-hand side. Yokor and Rongyu one more time. Zap will be tilted off the face of the earth at this moment in time, and Rongyu laughing away at how much pain they're causing Scarabs at the moment. I can understand it. Good call from Scarabs, though. Straight over towards his Pyromancer. Scarabs right now, that they're just out of the fray. However, like you said, the middle to right-hand side of the map, they can fight. The problem is Leviathans are just playing with confidence now, and it's Leia's getting picked apart in the jungle by 4 members of Leviathans. The ward coverage just isn't good enough from Scarabs now to compete with this invasion the Leviathans had. They kill Leia's, they take his camp, they take the blue away from Solo Troll too.
Control the lane and allow Panitom to sit over here and continually fight. But Baronic's finally coming through a rotation. This could be a good chance to counter gank the Leviathans.
But do they have it warded? Can Panitom spot it? Not in time to not get hit by Crush, but Featherstep's good. Can she get away in a Wheelix is the question, and he will get away from Inbound, who was looking for the root. I'm a Monster will not connect on the right-hand side to Julio. And now it's Inbound who went too far forward here, trying to cause a problem, looking to keep up a kill, but Shito, with the transformation into his dual lane, Padre ends up getting the kill, and Bobby falls down a 3rd time.
This is just not going to be the kind of turnaround you need. I mean, you get Panatom on the brink of death. There's a moment there.
And these Oni minions now pressuring all three of the lanes too. A difficult ask for Scarabs here, but this is the one chance they've really got. They're not going to get a chance to set up though. They're all in on inbound already, and Bobby is annihilated one more time. SOT steps up, gets plugged back in, and say goodnight, sweet prince. We hardly knew you either. The Phoenix on the left-hand side down to 50%. Transition from Leviathans to the middle area, and the perfect game is intact.
I mean, so far, if Inbound could get in there with this horrific emblem upgrade, with the shout that he has, the Furious Roar, there's so much he could do to set his team up, but the problem is he can't survive long enough. I mean, he's 3 levels down compared to where Wrong U is.
For game number 2, because nothing went right in game 1, the main thing they could really try and do is stop the shutout at this moment in time, find a pick and just make themselves feel a little bit better about it. But at the moment, your core is just forcing ult onto SOT, and Layers, who's just on the left trying to farm, gets picked away by 3, and now it is a rough situation. The Titan, not the tankiest boy in the world, if I'm honest. He doesn't defend himself too well, and well, the Scarabs aren't even defending themselves too well, let alone the Titan. This is looking like writings on the wall. Let's get a kill though, Scarabs, come on.
I mean, yeah, all towers down, all Phoenix is down. This Titan is about, well, no, it is as weak as it can possibly get. If you just focus it, it's going to be a win state for him. This is a good spot for the Scarabs to try and fight back, but they just need to do it fast.
But Rongyu's taking a lot of damage there. Focus on the health bars as Zapman will survive by getting back to Fountain. Still Rongyu alive on the front though. Will they find a kill this game? No, Rongyu escapes the Desert Fury. Julio gets Bobby. Shinto gets solo Troll. Panitom gets Zapman. And Baronic gets to watch on as the Titan falls in less than, let's be honest, this game was over in 20 minutes. 17-0 Leviathans.
Beautiful.
Well, they've already had a perfect game. Can they have a perfect set? Leviathans looking for it up against the Scarabs, and oi! Is that Indu, man?
Oi, I guess it is. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The odds of 2 perfect games in a row, Gore, I ain't going to see that happening. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen, especially with these compositions, and especially with that many beads. Holy Solar
It just feels
Scarabs.
like Zapman's duo lane has a little more going on in it than maybe some of the other carries.
Look at this, in the jungle, Layers gonna get picked off potentially here, uses the Piercing Moonlight for a bit of immunity, but still taking poison damage, and will go down to Rongyu with a pluck at the tail end there. And that was really around the same time Blue was coming up. Julio was a little overextended intentionally there. First blood go. Yeah. That's just the difference between First Blood, if I'm honest, is that what Rongyu got from that is the real difference between the two. But this invade from Scarabs looks good for now. Rongyu tail whipping in, trying to cause a problem for Bobby, who gets plugged back into danger. Still has more available, though, for Riptide, or should I say Omni. The chase is on, though, when he's out. Has to drop the walls down. Will use the walls to separate, but Panitam could be in an awkward spot now. Piercing Moonlight's good for damage, but gets pulled under the tower, and now it's Layers in trouble because the rest of his team didn't follow up or try and support. He's going to avoid the Armor Monster. Backstep's good, but still surviving. Will go down to Shinto and the basic attack as the rest of the team fall. Layers had to ult there, I feel like, but at the same time...
Yeah, those nerfs, I think it was, what, 2% total mitigations? I have it over here. I can just go look at it, yeah. So 1.5% per stack, now down to 1% per stack. So from a max of 6 to a max of 4. It's not hurt him at all.
Bobby still in trouble here. Gets it by the Armor Monster from Shinto. Panitom credit with a kill. Then Layers, who tried to get in action, ate some damage from that Book of Tough. Meanwhile, Zapman, taking on Yarkor and Rongyu, does a pretty good job. The pressure on. And it's actually Scarabs deep in red territory here, around the red buff. Panitom leaps on in. Full focus towards Layers there yet again. He'll get the Piercing Moonlight off, but it won't do anything because he dies before it connects. Meanwhile, Baronic picked up by Julio and dunked down to oblivion. Leaping in goes Yarkor now. Bobby forced to use his ultimate defensively, and this opens up the window for the Gold Fury.
Yeah, 2 kills, and the minute you see Julio over here, the conversation is immediately, yeah, okay, we're going to take this Gold Fury. There's no chance you're going to try it.
2-level lead at the moment for Shinto over Baronic, but if Layers gets picked in the jungle by Panitom one more time, this could be a death knell one more time, and he's going to walk right into Yarkor, and Yarkor might be given the kill here by Panitom. They're going to keep the chase going, try to hold as much as they can and do so. Panitom credited with a kill, 6-0, but a Fire Giant at 18, okay. Julio's here though, boys. There's a ward there too. Here comes King Arthur. Welcome to the jungle. We like fun and games. He's going to spin around and buy as much time for his team as he can to rotate back in, force him off the FG. But this isn't bad. Shinto, no, I'm a monster, takes out inbound, and now it's Baronic in trouble. He gets hit by the I'm a monster for 2 kills, and now the rest of Scarabs are in tatters. They were trying to make something happen at the FG, and they get punished heavily by ward coverage, and Julio rotating in, buying time for Leviathan. Calculated, buddy, or is it? Because look at Panitom, he's lurking, he's hunting too. The bad news is he's walked into Bobby, but Bobby's the one getting the tail end, and Rongyu still chasing Zap all the way back as he continues to skip away. Bobby's still alive, Panitom should die, and there's first blood surely for Solar Scarabs. The unthinkable will not happen here today.
Layers had one goal there. I don't think he planned on living.
And Yorko's still lurking. You can see the pincer maneuver coming in from Rongyu and Julio too. But this Fury's dropping relatively quick with the damage from Scarabs. The knockback's good though from Rongyu, trying to buy some time for his team. Fury's still alive, and it's actually Yorko and Shinto that are going to get it for them. Zap does get a kill though onto Rongyu, and he'll be punished for his discretions afterwards by Julio. Next on the list is going to be SOT, Sarat by 3. Shinto zoning away Bobby at the same time. They get a kill, they lose the Fury, and it's 12-2, and Leviathans are marching on. I would have realised that sooner. They could have already committed here, but look at Panitom in mid, already whittling down that Phoenix in the mid lane, forcing someone there to defend, and that's going to be Layers. Front lining though, that right Phoenix is very low. Great ultimate from inbound though, trying to push back Leviathans, and in goes Solo or Troll 2 with a follow-up. The damage is here, but where can the damage come from? Pissing it up from Layers, takes out Yorko already, crits from Zap at the back, trying to whittle down the help by Julio, and doing a good job of it. The base defense from Scarabs is good enough to hold for now, and that's a Fire Giant Leviathans team. If you're a Scarabs fan now, you're happy. We've held for now. It's not over though. It's the first defense. There's going to have to be 1 or 2 more, I'd say.
Well, they're not going to have that buff until the next time it respawns, but he's going to go for this.
Man, Panitom, great call from him though. Well, yeah, the whole team's now coming back because they were 50-50. You saw them thinking about recalling.
Yeah.
Now Layers versus Panitom, but reinforcements on the way. And as soon as they turn up, the ambush comes out. But piercing Moonlight's there from Layers. The collapse on Panitom is going to be painful, but he has bought time for his team not to lose the Phoenix at least and get some respawns through. Julio back on the map. Your call.
The Secure still goes over to the Scylla for me, and so that's a risky play for either squad, I think. A lot of burn on the Scarabs could hurt the Leviathans.
Yeah, looks like Leviathan being a bit more respectful now, realising they're at the late stages, but Rongyu ate 2 crits to the face there straight away. Bitterpoke had to lurk in the waters early on. Nice little frostball out from their Baronic there, just keeping Panitom in check for a second or 2. All the while, Yorko was pulling that Fury for a moment. Fire Giant spawning in a few seconds time too, and it's Scarabs now on the Fury. What can they do? Rongyu coming in, tail whip to force them back again. Rinse repeat of last time we saw this fight. Meanwhile, it's Panitom is very, very low. Piercing Moonlight, is that going to connect at all? No is the answer. Julio, though, will be a casualty on the front side. And now it's a 4v5 with Scarabs on the offensive.
That's the biggest change. The last fight where Julio is able to pull, what, 4 members? And he almost kills off Baronic, causes a lot of trouble, still walked out alive. They've been able to kill Julio off twice now.
Bobby's too far forward here. Bobby, why are we so far forward, Bobby?
They're on the
well, he's on Fire Giant. I guess good call, actually. Apologies. That was a great call from Bobby. Bait yourself, let your team get FG. And now we're going to take it to the Leviathans. Yorko's under pressure. Eats a lot of the damage with an Aegis there. I'm a monster pop by Shinto, though. He's looking for a shot. Who's it going to be on? Will he get time? No is the answer. Off the mark. Solo Ocho gets towards Yorko, but a good impale keeps him on the backline. Layers, though, got hold of Panitom, and next up could be Julio. But Julio takes out Veronica, and he's still alive at the moment. How long is the question? Not long enough. Bobby gets the kill, and it's 4 for 3. Sorry, 4 members alive. And I think Scarabs have actually won this game. The power of friendship, the power of holding on for the late game, and making the enemy team make mistakes may have just been enough for the Scarabs to climb out of the coffin they were in and aim to end the game. They've got no minions, though. Are they that worried about these two? It is Yorko and Shinto, though. They have to be respectful, Gore.
A lot of damage on the board, and you can see it, but look at how much they're able to do the Titan can do.
Oh, he should be going down relatively quick, and Scarabs have battled back about 24 plus minutes of them being on the back foot and behind. They didn't win in terms of kills.
Where it went wrong, that Phoenix siege on the offense, I think they're much better at sieging offensively with this draft in comparison to their last one.
They are. Just the healing, the dance around these objectives a little bit longer. The Leviathans have shored up their weaknesses.
Let's see if it's enough. The Scarabs looking to battle back and win game number 3.
I mean, battle back, I think they're on the forefront. I think the question really is going to be here, Gore, can Leviathans, like, have they got the mental to compete with the Solar Scarabs that will go to the end of the earth of losing and then still come back and win? Is that going to be the real question at the moment against this King Arthur? And the bullying will begin in the respective lanes as the junglers are paired with the mid laners for the time being.
That's one of those things you
Good.
would think, actually, now Layers is going in.
Oof! Oof! Beautiful from Layers, the blink, the feather step. As soon as he turns round, no, my friend, no escape for you. Knocked up in the air, and Shinto, well, Scarabs there. A lot of vision at the moment there for Zapman, just trying to keep eyes on these rotations coming in. Speaking of rotations, here comes Panitom now. Chop Suey begins. Zapman Ijutsu's the weird direction, but he does have backup coming. He might be able to get hold of Panitom. Hold that fort though. Paolo comes into play. The up down, but Zap's still alive until the walls crush down. And meanwhile in the jungle, Shinto got hold of Baronic, but he will pay the price against Layers here. One more basic will do it. He didn't end up needing Suku at all. Not sure if I get 10 out aggro there. Layers a bit too much from that. And luckily enough, nothing more comes of that. 2 for 1.
He does all of those dots in his kit. The full kit just does so much, and that's going to help out against Inbound, or sorry,
Layers.
Wrong You and Julio.
Under a bit of pressure here, has to use Suku, thinks about jumping over the wall, fakes it out and kills Panitom. Great support from Bobby, but he jumps right in towards Julio, who misses the ultimate. The feather step buys him a moment. Great fearless from Solo Troll 2, but Julio has none of that. He will slice away Layers' life just in time, and then the walls come crashing down from Wrong You, and it could be Bobby under some pressure, who jumps away from Shinto just in time in that thunder crash. Meanwhile, left-hand side, Hachiman taking on Kyron for a second. Looks like that'll
Argue that most objective fights are stronger for the Scarabs now, only because Shinto, yeah, good amounts of bursts that you can have from Raijin. None of it's what we typically call a secure, like not the same way with a Kukulkan and Silver.
Hold that thought. Yoko having a fight at the same time as Panitom too. Panitom going to jump to his teammate. Can't land that Paolo onto his prime target Layers. And Zapman had the beads up. And now it's Wrong You in danger. The Riptide ended up causing him his own life there, unfortunately. And as you said, a good kill as the Raijin ultimate still available for Shinto, though. As Leviathans fall
paper
back.
and the Leviathans punch through it. This time around, this is the team that is controlling what
this.
they're doing and proactively making plays.
Goon Squad Scarabs coming in. Panitom forced back under the tier 2. Still going in solo on Troll. And Baronic will get credit with that arcane stance. But Wrong You's arrived. The walls come down. But where is his teammate? Where is the backup? At the moment, it's really just King Arthur watching on. But the damage is good. And oh my god, Wrong You insane man. Mounted double kill for the support. And in comes Shinto to clean up potentially Bobby here too, who has to try and escape this left-hand side now. But he's running into enemy territory. He's not going to get away easy from the combination of these Leviathans too. I didn't think there was enough damage there for them to die, but holy moly, what great work out of Julio and Wrong You combined.
Yeah, just the CC, the control they come through, and I was kind of wondering what we were going to see out of this game. Out of place for him, the walls not exactly favoring their position or their retreat a little bit more. And now Hindu, I mean, we've been talking about it, a lot of elite for the Scarabs.
Zap's in trouble though, Gore again. He's not got beats, he's not got Aegis, he's not got a life. Your core credit with a kill as the rotation comes in. It's the first time I felt the wall coverage is slightly slacked on that left-hand side for a second. And Leviathans punish it straight away. And should be able to get a tier 1 tower here too. He's left there, so not too far behind at the moment. Execution online for Zap. But you can start to see the difference now between the ability base. Oh my goodness me, stop giving Wrong You your mojo. This isn't fair. But Zap's usage of the ultimate there, very, very good. His Aegis is early, and that means there's a chance for Yoko to let the snipes. He won't, but Wrong You might be able to find the kill with the bubbles, and will do so. Yamoja is on a killing spree. Good news though for Scarabs. They will at least try and punish the right-hand side and take a pyro, but Gore Leviathans are starting the Gold Fury.
And that's going to be a big swing for them. That Pyromancer kind of keeps things even, but that's before this Fury has gone down. This is where the true
the
jump
inbound did hit level 12 and did go for that cursed Onk. We were talking about anti-heal, and this could really throw Leviathans for a loop if they don't play around it well. But Panitom in mid going aggressive, snipes out too. Looking at Baronic, Aegis already used and the beads too. No change really connecting with anyone there from Panitom to make a difference, but he will dive down and pick up Baronic anyway, who was under his tier 1 tower. Reinforcements from Scabbers a little bit late, but look at Julio Gore. He's wrapping around the back, and he comes looking for a play, and he'll pick up and slam down Layers, but Layers still alive with the Aegis and leaps away. Not far enough though. Shinto credited with the kill, but once again it was the walls from Rongu. The River's Rebuke came up big, and now Inbound's running for his life one more time. The dot damage will not be enough. It forced SOT in though to the fight to try and help out his team or maybe get a kill, and it won't be enough either. He's forced a Lawbringer away, and that's a tier 2 if I've ever seen one, or maybe a Fire Giant.
They're going to be running it right back to where they know. Look, 3 people dead, 15 seconds before Baronic's back. SOT, no ult. Inbound, no ult. And both of their blinks down. There's no way someone's going to get into this. Well, at least not the easy way, right? You could try to run it straight down at the FG. And SOT looks like he might be going for that path. Gets caught out there by Julio. It's one of those easy calls, it feels like, here for the Leviathans. 21 minutes in, good control. And I feel like it's just so difficult.
And they know, they can see the minions there.
Yeah,
so what's going to happen in this middle lane? Without him being here, what happens? Bobby forced back for a second into the fountain room. Leviathans. Blue Phoenix down to half. Zap turns into the fray, but Bobby's already used the lurk in the waters defensively, and the middle Phoenix falls. Panitom now looking for some snipes and gets one on Layers, but he's got a Magi's to keep him topped up. Solo Troll being run down and has to Lawbringer away too, but all these ult score are being used defensively, and in the end Layers is going to fall. They can get the left-hand Phoenix if they want to, or they can drop the River's Rebuke one more time and send the Scarabs scattering again. No real focus on the Titan though, which is a bit of a concern in the situation. And Bobby tries to step up, eats some more damage, ends up dying to Shinto. And next up could be the Titans once they've killed off Zatman. But Zat will survive. Titan still standing. The end of the game is brutally long and painful and arduous for Scarabs. The Leviathans are going to come out on top of this. 2-1. But my oh my, I'll give credit where it's due for Scarabs battling back in this set against Leviathans and showing